Hello everyone, my name is Ankur Kaushik. This year I have got a rank of 37 in CSE 2018. Earlier I was working as an IAS probationer from CSE 2016. That time I had a rank of 485. My option was public administration. So today I would like to share my tips and whatever I felt would help me clear this exam so that it would also be helpful to you to get a decent rank. Prelims and mains, what I feel the basic difference is how you read and how you write. For prelims, you just practice test papers, the more focus is on reading. Rather than in mains, the more focus is on writing. You have to write umpteen number of questions. While in prelims, though you have to write, but the questions are objective. So there is a slight difference between how you practice, though the reading material is slightly different from mains. Whatever you read for prelims would be very useful for you in mains, especially GS paper 1. And also you have to read something separate for mains, like in GS paper 4 ethics, and your optional, that's a fact. So what you do is you forgo about your preparation for mains, just focus on your static part and dynamic part. Static part being your basic books like Lakshmikant, Spectrum for history, basic books like 6 to 12th for geography, NCRT. So those are the books that you should really refer to at this point of time. You should not touch your optional at this point of time. So after your prelims is done, then you should totally focus upon your preparation of mains. Also focus upon your current, whatever compilations you are reading which are available in the market. Read them n number of times. I had read my compilation more than 20 number of times. What I would really like to say is that this is the single most important factor that you have to decode the syllabus. Whatever sub-syllabus topics are mentioned in the main syllabus as released by UPSC, you should make notes of them, at least 2 pages notes on every syllabus. Some of them are available in market, but I would really suggest that you make those notes in your own words, based on your own understanding. That would really be helpful. Like for example, globalization, for example, SHGs, PPP, I had separate notes for them. I had read many reports like Kelkal report for PPP. So I had read such reports, made notes for minimum 2 pages and maximum 3 pages, and I continuously revise them for mains. So the topics are very important. Even paper 4, every term you should know the definition, you should have examples ready, so that if the question is asked, you should really quote whatever you're ready with beforehand. So I remember 3 things by Khan sir. I had taken interview preparation guidance from Khan sir. So he said that there are 3 things necessary for this exam, which I really felt were the core of this exam. First, perseverance. Second, focus. And third, revise. You should, like, even if you're scoring low in your test series or test papers, don't be bogged down by that. Continue to hard work. Continue your work. Give attempt papers as much as you can. So like, don't be bogged down if you have scored low. Eventually you will score good. And then focus, keep yourself off distraction. I myself was off phone for 2 months before mains and 2 months before prelims. So keep yourself off the distractions, make less use of social media, that would increase your focus. And then revise. Revise whatever you are reading, make sure you are revising it. Make sure you are revising it almost 20 times. Revision is the single most important factor in this exam. Whatever you have read, you should know it by heart. You should have it on your fingertips. I remember there was a question on, there were many questions like caste-based identities in the paper 1. Though I did not know the answer as such, but I had read something because at that time Jat agitation, Patikdar revolution, Patikdar movement was going on. So I had made notes of them, so I quoted them directly. I have scored good in paper 1. I had scored 106 marks, which is a very good score this year in paper 1. So make sure you revise, make sure you have it by heart, that I would like to say. So I would like to say that I had practiced almost 50 tests before prelims, and for mains, though I had attempted very few test papers, I had just attempted 3 papers in GS. But what I did was I practiced questions at home. I got all the papers available in the market, whatever compilation you want to have, get them at home, practice the test papers, get them checked from peer review, get them checked from someone who is into services or someone who is good at them, and you will get very good reviews and they would really be helpful. And for prelims, I had practiced 2 test series, almost 50 tests. I had made notes of those tests and I continued to revise them continuously. Even right one day before prelims, I was revising my test papers notes. I'll suggest very few sources but very helpful sources. First sources being Niti Aayog's website. I had reports of Niti Aayog on law and order, Niti Aayog on agriculture. Best practices column on Niti Aayog is really helpful to cite case studies. That was the one site I really followed. Then there was ChanakyaSutra.com. I had made notes of Chanakya Sutras to write in essays. I have scored essay 151 in essay this year, which is one of the highest scores. So make notes of those sutras. Go to Niti Aayog, get some best practices. Read reports on agriculture, law and order, Election Commission 2016 report. Then for essay, I also went to online site named poetry.org. My hobby is poetry, so I had made a set of poems that I would cite in my exam, and I really cited 2 poems in my essays. And then there is a report by CSE, CSE being Council for Science and Education. It's called Status of India's Environment Report 2018. I had 2018. By your time, 2019 report would also be released. So make notes of those reports. There are data, there are figures, there are facts, there are flowcharts. Everything is there in that report. 150 rupees report. Buy it online, read it. It's a very beautiful report and would really be helpful. Newspapers are very important undeniably. But what I did was I had different approach to read newspapers and magazines. I did not follow any magazine except few editions of Kurukshetra, one being Panchayati Raj, Yojana's issue on disaster management. So those are the only 2 Yojana and Kuruksetras that I followed. Then how to read newspapers. What I did was I got newspaper first thing in the morning. I had a WhatsApp group with myself. So what I would do is I would bookmark articles. I would read article in the paper. If I found it was good, I would send it to myself. Then I would read it again and again. I would bookmark it, read it further, follow it up. So I would bookmark it. So that's how I read newspapers. Did not make notes like in PDF format. What I did was I just bookmarked those articles, and I had made a WhatsApp group with myself. But previous to my mains, I had stopped using social media. So what I did was use my laptop to bookmark those articles and access my WhatsApp online. So that's how I go about reading newspapers. Optional is very important. I scored 300 this year, which is not a very good score this year, but it's decent score to get you in the top ranks. So my optional was public administration. I do not want you to choose optional like how I chose. I chose my optional way back in 2016 because it was because everyone said PABAD is good. You should choose your optional based on your interests. First is interest. Second, have a fine understanding. Read the syllabus and try reading some basic books about it. So if you have public administration, try reading Social Theory and Development by Mohit Bhattacharya or Organization Behavior by Stephen Robbins. So have 1-2 readings. If you develop an understanding, if you really like the subject, you should go for it. Be it economics, be it management, be it public administration, be it anthro, be it maths. If you have an interest in it, you should go for that optional. So I did not take any coaching for GS. I did take coaching for my optional. So I think that, and I also went for interview guidance program at KSG. E-mocks were really helpful. So what you do is, I would say that coaching is not that necessary, but what it does is provides you a discipline. For optional, if you are very new to optional, you don't have your background in optional, I would suggest you could take up coaching, but it's not really necessary. You could do it also do it on your own. I revised my optional I finished my coaching 2015 end December. So I revised my optional then based on my notes and everything. That you could also do without the help of coaching as well, because notes are readily available in the market. So answer writing is very important. There's nothing in this world for UPSC more important than answer writing. I remember I had written my essay, first essay, got it checked from my friends, written 8 questions, got it checked from my friends. I got very poor reviews. So what I did was I practiced answer writing at home, much more at home rather than writing test series. I just wrote 3 tests for mains. So practice answer writing even at home. If you can't afford or can't go for test series, get it checked. Make a peer group who are preparing for mains. Get it checked from your peer group. They would their suggestions would really be helpful. And also, though I didn't join the coaching, but my friends were there at CIWP, which is a program at KSG by Khan sir himself, and POD program. I heard that their reviews were good. So if you could have some mock classes if they provide. So I heard their program was good, or else you could practice answer writing on your own. Those were the tips that I followed for clearing this exam. I hope they are helpful for you. Good luck for your prelims and good luck for your eventually mains as well. Thank you.